Good evening, everybody. I am your host, Hoodlum, and today we are going to be getting into some more of our Hearts of Iron 4 campaign, the Scandinavian Empire. So, last episode, we kind of just set things up, and we're just going to leave things running on speed 5 for a little bit. We're going to pay attention to what's going on in Europe, watch what's going on in national Spain a little bit. I really wish there was a way to speed up the early game, but I don't see that really being possible. Alright, we're getting some more factories from trade, which is nice. We're looking at completing this, our factories in Småland in the 24th of August. And I'm sure as we get more and more trade, that number is going to change in our favor. Alright, so the Netherlands, they're buying from us. Nobody wants chromium. We don't have enough aluminum for anyone. Basically, this over here, this is the most important province in the game for us, the tungsten, steel, and chromium province. Of course, we have some steel speckled here and there around our nation. But right up here in the north, this is the most important province. I think Sweden definitely has the strongest start at the beginning of the game. And that's because it can support itself at the very beginning, no matter what it wants. No matter which direction it is looking to go. Eventually moving our way into Russia would be a lot of fun, because grabbing some Swedish colonies over in the Caucasus over here for the oil would be very nice. Very ahistorical, but very nice indeed. Alright, we're just going to look around here. National Defense Fund. So Poland's definitely gearing up to defend itself. Germany's making its Autobahn, and France is supporting the status quo, as France does. It looks like Denmark here is motioning towards whatchamacall, I would guess neutrality, but that's just a guess. And looking here, we have Finland, who's working on the armament effort. So, yeah. Things are pretty much all par for the course up in Northern Europe. There's not a lot going for the early game. And Sweden has no way to really justify any war goals against her neighbors at the start of the game. Basically, our goal is to reclaim the Swedish Empire at its height in the 1700s, 1800s, and taking over most of the Baltic states right here is going to be part of that eventual goal. And hopefully we'll be able to expand all of that to also include Moscow. Basically right around here is where we're going to start demanding territory. And we definitely want to take the northern portion of Russia. I just see that as being very helpful for us. Alright, so we're moving in. We have concentrated industry coming up. Construction speed's going to be a whole lot faster in just about a month and a half. We're still low on manpower. It's all just a waiting game. Alright. So we have our artillery slowly being produced. It looks like we're going to be able to fill up our towed artillery demands very quickly. It's going to be done next month. And then we'll look to supply. I think we're going to look to get 2 factories producing infantry equipment. Because infantry equipment takes the looks like it's going to take the longest time to fulfill the demand for, which makes sense. Alright, we know we have a good fleet. Looking around here, we have our admiral with a retreat decision chance and fleet speed while retreating. Okay, so that'll be nice. Looking around here some more. Yep. I see things is going pretty well so far. I don't know if there's any forts in any of these regions. We definitely don't have any anti-air guns, which I think that would be almost just a waste of money, because all the Allies are going to do is focus their fire on northern France. That's usually what I see. It looks like the nationalists are marching on the doors of Madrid. With that, the capital will move to Barcelona. Then again, no, Zaragoza isn't worth anything. Burgos. It looks like might be too quick to speak here. Let's see, the Republicans are getting support from, of course, the Russians. The Nationalists are getting their support only from the Reich. Usually the Italians get in there and they try to help, and so that'll likely be a deciding factor in that war, is whether or not the Italians get into the war soon enough to affect anything. Yep, we're coming up August. We're going to complete our factory in Småland. And so that'll be about a month. And things will really start to snowball in our favor. I don't know why I almost said small right there. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm really curious what the nationalist flag looks like for Sweden. I imagine it is some sort of variation of the German flag that the game has right now, with the Iron Cross. I know Paradox does not want to have any depictions of the Nazi symbol in their game, which, I mean, honestly, if it's what people want, that's fine, but getting rid of it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me personally. Yeah. So, the Nazis do like us, so that's good. That's good for our government. Maybe, trade-wise, they'll be inclined to trade with us. More so, they'll just give us their stuff very easily. I mean, that makes sense. I wish there was a way to, I don't know. I wish there were more diplomatic options in this game other than just improve relations, non-aggression pact, and offer military access. It feels like the game's diplomacy system isn't that fleshed out. I wish there were actually like real events that you can get involved with throughout like Europe, and so that would be cool. I did not realize that we do not control this territory of Åland. Playing CK2, this is almost always a part of the Duchy of, like, the Duchy of, that includes Stockholm. And so I'm very surprised to see that Åland is its own individual state. I mean, I've never seen that before. Very interesting to me. I mean, it's not like it's the most significant state, but it definitely has some effect. It has a very small amount of population that I could see having a significant effect over time if it has, say, a civilian factory in it. Let's see, radio research. It looks like we don't have much of a choice in regards to what we can research. I mean, looking around here, getting our Scania Vabis and getting our first motorized unit seems to be the most significant thing that we can do. Getting our mechanized troops together is probably going to have the largest effect on our ability to transverse Norway, Finland, and eventually the northern part of the Soviet Union. So that'll be great. And everything looks like it's going fine. I mean, we have full preparation, full entrenchment, which is only going to be 10% bonus, but that's a bonus nonetheless. However, it's that planning bonus that makes a huge difference. France has a fairly large planning bonus. If I do recall, it's something like 75%, but it takes a long time for them to build up that planning bonus. I'll go ahead and keep the game going in the background. But it takes quite a lot of time for that to snowball in any way. So if the French are prepared for an invasion from all sides, or they're prepared for an invasion through Brussels, they tend to do very well, but usually the French AI don't even think of Brussels as being a threat, and that leads to them not having any troops on that border. So that means they lose a lot of the planning bonuses that they would have had, and they can't really recover from that, typically. Alright, so we're going to pull off our one factory that is working our artillery and move him onto infantry equipment. Now it's going to take some time to build back up our production efficiency, and that makes sense. Honestly, I wonder if it'd be more effective to just start an entirely new line altogether. I don't know. I mean, I'm not the one who made this game, so maybe, maybe not. But I do know that we're going to do the same thing as soon as this support equipment need is filled. So that'll be done probably on the 24th or the 25th. And after that happens, there won't be too much else to really worry about. I mean, we're just sitting, we're chilling, moving right on ahead. Alright. So we fulfilled that need. I'll build up a tiny, tiny stockpile of support equipment now. Minuscule amount. Alright, so we got construction effort 1. Construction effort 2. France and Britain announced an alliance. That is usually something that doesn't happen that quickly. So that means France is a part of the Allies now. So the big entente worked. I'm very surprised in that sense. Usually France isn't that lucky. Alright. So that's going to be a little bit tough for us. We are going to have to eventually help Germany with France. And so that means things are not necessarily going in our favor. You know, just luck in general. Let's see, August 17th. So we have 2 weeks until we finish that factory in Småland. And now we'll have 10 out of 15 factories when that happens. And then 11 out of 15 when construction effort 2 finishes. Hopefully we'll get a lot of factories from invading Norway, and we won't have to worry about building as many. But it's entirely skeptical. There's nothing I can really do to ensure that. And so for now we're just going to sit right here and hope that alright, we have a pretty good stockpile of support equipment. Not necessarily the most useful supply, but it'll get us through an emergency if we ever need it. So now we have way more infantry equipment being built, and as this efficiency builds up, we'll start to see our weapons 1 needs filled a whole lot quicker. Alright, concentrated industry is building up. Eventually I'm going to want to build up some more close air support and our naval bombers, but in the current state I don't see us having the need to directly affect that. Alright, so concentrated industry 1. I don't see the need for excavation at this given moment. Maybe I'll just go straight for interwar artillery for the extra soft attack. Yeah, I see that being helpful for us. Compassionate gentlemen, that seems good. Ooh, silent workhorse, captain of industry. So we'll grab captain of industry right now for the way our nation is constructing so much. Yeah. And looking here, we should see some pretty good bonuses now. Yeah, January of next year, we're gonna already have another. Yeah, that civilian economy is really weighing us down, which is too bad. I wish it was easier to change up the prioritization that we have. I don't know if there's anything else we can do in our cabinet to increase industry. Let's see, we have industrial concern. And the main choice is going to be, do I want monthly opinion or do I want the silent workhorse? That's going to be a tough decision, but getting him early on is definitely going to be the best. Ooh, political power gain, army experience gain, weird. Definitely go with army organization. I think we'll grab this little trifecta right here. I don't really see us having a need for the old guard. All weather, commerce rating. I mean, we get to grab all 4 of them, but I don't see Olaf Thornell being all that helpful overall. Alright. So once again, we're just slowly moving our way around, testing the waters of Europe. Yep, Germany's making her industrial efforts for the Vaterland, as they would say. Alright. Sorry for these videos not being all that eventful. There's not a lot that I can do at the beginning of the game. Let's look over here. The student movement. So it looks like the Japanese are not immediately prioritizing a war with the the Chinese, and they're instead going for some research slots, and I can see that being very helpful for them. So that's going well. Japan's definitely taking her time. Alright. Looks like the nationalists are doing a little bit better, despite their loss of Aragon. which is only 2, very small amount. Navarre was worth way more. Huh. I'm never gonna understand the Spanish Civil War. It's a very weird war to me. Alright. Well, thank you for joining me for part 2 of our Scandinavian Empire. Of course, we're working on our build-up. Thank you for your time. I've been your host, Hoodlum, and I hope you all have